pleasant day each and everyone. Today I am with Marinela Palisa and Pauline Gale Cueto, and we're going to discuss the Module 6, which is the Social Media Literacy. Now let us first talk about the social literacy. So what do we mean by social literacy? First, it entails the development of social skills, knowledge, and positive human values. Second, it can be acquired through social process of inquiry, values exploration, and social decision making. Third, it concerned with the empowerment of social and ethical self, which includes the ability to understand and explain differences within individual experiences. So when we say social literacy, it means that it is the achievement of positive social skills, knowledge, and positive human values that supports people's ability or human ability to behave responsibly. Social literacy is very important, especially nowadays that we have different technology or social media platform wherein we can be connected from one another. It is important because people, especially students, must learn the necessary skills to communicate and widen their social circles. Next is the social skills. So when we say social skills, it is the aspect of social literacy, involves good manners, helps in building social relationship, and the skills we use to communicate and interact with each other, both verbally and non-verbally, through gestures or body language and our personal appearance. So social skills are also very important in schools because it helps students to maintain and grow their relationship with their classmates, co-students, teachers, peers, and others. These social skills are the skills we are using every day when we are interacting with other people. Now let us proceed to the types of social skills. So there are types of social skills that teachers can demonstrate among students to attain a harmonious relationship with them. So the first one is effective communication. So it is the way teachers will communicate to their students effectively and share thoughts, ideas, and concerns with students through a group conversation, and with this, they can build a good relationship with each other. Second one, conflict resolution. So it is the way wherein teachers get to the source of the problem and find the best solution by weighing both sides from those students who has conflict. Third one, active listening or active listener. It is the way teachers has to focus their attention to a student in times of counseling or consultation. The fourth one, empathy. So it is the way teachers understand and identify the feelings of the students in time of difficulty. 5. Or the fifth one, relationship management. With this, teachers should maintain and build key connection with school stakeholder for better development of the students. Next, respect. For me, it is the most important social skills because it can be done when we know when to initiate communication and respond during an interaction or even in times of arguments and confrontation. Next, problem-solving skills. So it is just like conflict resolution, and teachers must also involve in seeking help, making effective decisions, and accepting consequences to derive better solution to a problem. Then the last one, interpersonal skills. So this includes the abilities of sharing, joining activities, asking for permission or help, and waiting for a response. So with this skill, we can build a close relationship from one another. Now let's move on to improving our social skills. So the first one is maintaining eye contact, using proper body language, knowing the differences between being assertive and being aggressive, selecting the effective communication channels, being flexible, accepting criticism without being defensive, remaining positive at all times, and being teachable and good student in most instances. So, with these characteristics, we can improve our social skills, and with that, we can build a better relationship from the other people. Also, with our improved social skills, we can build a better version of ourselves. So, a teacher must uh, portray or must do this social skills to improve their selves. So in addition, when we possess all the social skills that I mentioned earlier, it will it will result to better relationship, better communication, greater efficiency, advanced career prospects, and increase our overall happiness. So it is a great feeling, right? So as a future educator, we must possess these skills in order for us to be a good example or role model to our own student, even to our family members. So now let us proceed to the emotional intelligence or EQ. So Goleman 1996 defines emotional intelligence as number 1, recognize, understand, and manage own emotions, and recognize, understand, and influence the emotion of the others. So it is being aware that emotions can derive behavior and impact people positively and negatively, and learning how to manage those in times. First one is giving and receiving feedback, meeting tight deadlines, dealing with challenging relationships, not having enough resources, dealing with change, and experiencing setbacks and failure. So, meaning to say, emotional intelligence or EQ is our ability to understand, use, and manage our own emotion in most positive ways, to relieve our stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. So it also helps us to build social relationship and stronger relationship in order for us to succeed in school and work and achieve our career and personal goals in life. So now let us proceed to the strategies for enhancing emotional intelligence. So Goleman 1995 laid down ways of enhancing emotional intelligence in the light of understanding and managing emotion that teachers need to know and understand. The first one, think about feelings. So a person has to be sensitive to one's and others' feelings to come up with a right manner of approach or appropriate response. So for example, a teacher has to be aware of his or her student's background or situation that may trigger negative emotions. So in that case, he or she would know the right approach when dealing with sensitive issues in class. Second one, pause. This is about taking a moment to stop and think before doing anything, to refrain from resorting to an unsound decision at the height of anger. So for example, at the peak of anger with a student who commits violation, a teacher may gently pause for a while and take a moment of silence to rethink and cool down their emotion before jumping to any decision in order to avoid untoward consequences. The third one, strive to control one's thought. This is controlling the reaction to emotions by focusing on one's thoughts in harmony with goals and values. For example, instead of overreacting to a certain incident or situation in class, try to control negative thoughts to see a myriad of colors at the end of the rainbow among students. As such, try to find beauty in all things despite of not so good circumstances that may happen. Next, the fourth one, benefit from criticism. So criticism, even if it is not delivered in a favorable way, it is an opportunity to learn and gives idea on how others think about you. For example, when a senior teacher gives negative feedback on your work, instead of taking it personally against him or her, gratefully accept it and with humility and appreciation. Just think that is that it is for your improvement also. The next one, number 5, show authenticity. So this is saying what we mean with what we say and what we have to stick on to our values and principles. So for examples, in times of confrontation with parents, as teachers, we should clearly express our sides with respect and sincerity while consistently upholding onto the principle and truth behind the issue in order to avoid resorting to heated argument with conflict at the end with the parents of our students. The next one, demonstrate empathy. So whenever we show empathy to others, such as understanding their thoughts and feelings, we can easily establish a connection with them. So as a teacher, we should reach out to students who are in their worst situation and try to understand them and feel as if we were in the same boat or same situation. Next, praise others. This is by way of acknowledging and appreciating others toward attaining self-fulfillment and building trust. For example, teachers should give acknowledgement and praise to the student for their deeds that are worth commending. Uh, the next one, give helpful feedback. Although negative feedback may hurt one's feelings, at the same point, it can be turned constructive to one's improvement. So for example, when we receive negative feedbacks from our superiors, we have to take it as toward becoming a better and stronger person. Next, for the ninth one, apologize. Saying sorry demonstrates humility, a quality that will naturally win others as you value the relationship more than the ego. So, for example, whenever we commit mistakes in teaching, whether big or small, there is nothing to lose when we apologize. Even at times, doing it may seem to be very difficult. So, the next one, forgive and forget. So, forgiving and forgetting prevent others from holding emotions and allowing one to move forward. For example, when a student or a colleague hurts us, we should be ready to forgive and let go of the pains that somehow caused us or hurt us. Next one, keep our commitments. So the habit of keeping one's word in things, either big or small, develops strong reputation for reliability and trustworthiness. So for example, when we are giving or given a task in the school, make sure that we commit ourselves, our time and effort into it. Remember that opportunity may only comes once. Therefore, grab every opportunity that may come along our way, for it may never come again. For the 12th one, help others. One way to positively win others is through helping them, because listening to and helping them can build trust and inspire them to follow. So for example, in every school activity, we have to find ways to help others accomplish their tasks successfully. In return, they will be grateful to us. The last one, protect ourselves from emotional sabotage. So this is being wise enough in protecting ourselves when others attempt to manipulate our emotion for their personal sake. So for example, when we feel that someone has been excessively or wrongly controlling our actions, feelings, and decision in school, stop it in any right, but subtle and courteous way possibly. Okay? We should protect ourselves from emotional sabotage. So, for the next slide, for the next topic, which is the recommended tools in enhancing emotional intelligence, here is Marinella Palisa to discuss it.
Good morning, everyone. This time we will be talking about the recommended tools in enhancing emotional intelligence. In this slide, there are 15 tools and strategies that can be help to enhance emotional intelligence in school. The first one is the emotional literacy workshop, where teachers can do their workshop to communicate to the students, recognize and manage emotions, and increase self-awareness. The second one is the bingo emotions. It is a typically bingo game played with emotions. How is this game played? The teacher will give us a printed copy of bingo emotion card, where in the card there are pictures of different emotions. The teacher will name a certain emotion, then the students will cross out the said emotion in the card. The first one to cross out 5 emotions in a row or line will say or shout bingo. Then the teacher will ask some questions like, what will you do if you feel that emotion? Anyone can answer, not just the one who shouted bingo. The idea behind playing emotional bingo, is to have fun, connect with kids or students, and get to your students thinking about their feelings, like what feelings are and how they are expressed. Eye dots are small dots that stick to your hand or at the back of your hand and reflect your body temperature as a spectrum of colors. Skin temperature changes based on the stress level. Based on what I searched in the Google, in 6 seconds, they use biodots in many courses to teach emotional intelligence. Like to simplify neuroscience, for emotional check-in, and as a tool for practice relaxation and stress reduction. Next one is emotion cards. It is an evocative, playful moon-face illustration of emotions. The fifth one is feeling faces. These are photos of real people and data about how survey respondents evaluated each picture. This assess children with understanding their feeling and feelings of others. It is important to teach children words to use to express feelings in replace of the use of challenging behavior. Teachers can use this to help children to more accurately express their feelings by developing their emotional vocabulary, and it helps children to learn to recognize the feelings of others by facial expressions. Next is face workshop. It is an activity in which partners face each other while showing different facial expressions and qualities that ends with reflections. Next is the machine transformer. Participants in groups have to transform into an assigned machine or vehicle, of which each members shall comprise different parts deemed essentials and equally important that usually ends up with interactions and reflections. Next is 6 seconds emotional intelligence. It provides feedback about the way one uses EQ and how to improve in this area. The SEI are effective measures that help people develop and apply emotional intelligence professionally and personally. Next is the zoo, animal workshop. It is an activity that intends to imitate an animal behavior and gesture that ends with reflections and group sharing. The 10th one is the Emotional Literacy Museum. It is a self-directed learning experience that teaches about the physiology of emotions, emotional regulations, and emotional literacy. Its objectives is to increase knowledge about emotions and how to learn about them. Next is mixed emotion cards. It is a beautiful deck of tarot-like cards of feelings labeled with feelings and synonyms. It is a powerful tool that helps you to tap the underutilized asset in the world, your own emotions. It is very helpful because you can use this as a tool to make your best decision. Next is tower building. Groups will be tasked to build a tower using popsticks and straws. The goal is to make the tallest and strongest tower of all. This will end up with interactions, sharing, open forums, and patching of emotional barriers. I think most of us or all of us already experienced this activity, the tower building in school. But not using stick and straws. Instead, we use our own things available and make the strongest and tallest tower in our class. And we are asked what do we felt in building the tower. Next is build me a house. The participants in groups will be tasked to build a house using any available materials around them. The goal is to make the strongest house. Then, the facilitator will suddenly destroy the house made by the group and observe the members' emotions and reactions and let them express their feelings and thoughts. At the end, each one will draw realizations, lessons, and values for reflections. Second to the last is internalization activity. This is an activity that helps participants to reflect on the narrations of the facilitator with the background music in a dim and candle-lighted room. Everyone can express his or her emotions and feelings of resentment, remorse, anger, disappointment, and sadness. This can help us reflect to our own actions and emotions. The things that the facilitator narrating to us can affect our emotions and realize something. The last one is mirroring and unmasking activity. Each participant shall prepare a piece of paper and put it at his or her back in a circular formation. Everyone has to write that person's negative attitude on that paper. Everyone will be given time to see those feedbacks and reflect on them while they are also given a chance to express themselves. These negative feedbacks will be called masked to be turned off, and burned at the end of the activity, and they will be led to a prayer for self-renewal and rejuvenation. This helps us to know the bad or negative attitude that our classmates saw in us, and we can reflect to this and realize that this attitude should vanish, or this attitude needs to be changed and improve ourselves. Next is the 10 characteristics of an emotionally intelligent person. Connors 2018. The following are indicators and manifestations of an emotionally intelligent person that have to be considered and demonstrated at schools. The first one is empathy. Empathy is the capacity to understand or feel what another person is experiencing from within their frame of reference. You are emotionally intelligent person if you can understand another person's feelings. There are two types of empathy according to Greater Good Science Center in UC Berkeley. The affective empathy and the cognitive empathy. Affective empathy refers to the sensations and feelings that one gets in response to others' emotions, including mirroring what that person is feeling or just feeling stress when he or she detects another's fear or anxiety. While the cognitive empathy, sometimes called perspective taking, refers to one's ability to identify and understand people's emotions. The second one is self-awareness. It is the art of understanding oneself, recognizing the stimuli that he or she faces, and preparing how to manage him or herself both in a proactive and reactive manner. If you are aware of your own feelings or yourself, and also being aware means being able to recognize how other people saw you. The third one is curiosity. It is one's willingness to learn and improve. When one is curious, he or she is passionate, and therefore he or she is driven to desire to be at his or her best. You are emotionally intelligent person if you have the curiosity to know the other things other than what you already know. The fourth one is the analytical mind. It pertains to being critical thinker that analyzes and processes all new information that comes his or her way and see if they can extract ways to improve. You are emotionally intelligent person if you have an analytical mind. Those new information and data that critical thinker gathered are able to turn into action. Next is belief. It is a power of believing in oneself, both at present and the future. It is a matter of affirming that people and things in one's life happen for a reason and that everything will ultimately turn out to be good. You are emotionally intelligent person if you are a believer. If you are a believer, you will not see things as negative but thought that everything happens for a reason and there will be a good result at the end of the day. Next is needs and wants. It is something to discern between things that one needs versus the things that he or she just wants and establishing needs prior to fulfilling wants. You are emotionally intelligent person if you can distinguish what you want to what you need. Needs are something that we can't live without and something that you must have in order to survive, while wants are just luxuries that are good to have but not essential to survive. The seventh characteristic is passion. It is the natural desire, instinct, drive, ambition, and motivated love for a subject or someone. More so, it brings positive energy that helps sustain and inspire one to keep going. The eighth characteristic is optimism. It is about maintaining a positive attitude that may increase one's opportunities, improve relationships, and think clearly and constructively. You are emotionally intelligent person if you are an optimistic person. Optimists sees opportunities in every difficulty. Optimists are likely to see the causes of failure or negative experiences as temporary rather than permanent, specific rather than global, and external rather than internal. Next is adaptability. It is an important recognition and the ability to make or remake decisions in one's best interest. It is also determining when to continue his or her course or when is the time for change. It is the quality of being able to adjust to new conditions. Being able to adapt to any situations that you are placed is one of the advantage of one person. The last characteristic is the desire to help others succeed. It is becoming interested and appreciative of the success and achievement of others. The desire to succeed is not only for yourself but also for others around you. You give your support for them to do things that they want. People skills. Like emotional intelligence and social skills, people skills have been widely used in demonstrating social literacy at home, in school, or anywhere that a person may be. According to Wikipedia, people skills are patterns of behavior and behavioral interactions, meaning it is a pattern or a model on how a person behaves towards another person. There are different people skills that a person should have in order to make good interactions to others, like social assertiveness, master communication and conversation, being exceptional at decoding emotions, and many more. For Thompson 2009, this is an area of exploration about how a person behaves and how he or she perceives respective of his or her thinking and feeling. If according to Wikipedia, People skills are patterns of behavior and behavioral interactions. For Thompson, it is an area of exploration or a research on how a person behaves and also how a person feels towards others regardless of his or her own feelings. Honey 2001 defines people skills as the dynamics between personal ecology, cognitive, affective, physical, and spiritual dimensions, and its function with other people's personality styles in numerous environments like life events, institutions, challenges, etc. On the other hand, people skills are tools used to communicate and interact effectively and with others. Therefore, individuals with strong people skills are able to predict behaviors, relate to others, and socialize easily. People skills are effective in socializing with others. You can handle yourself in front of many people, and you can predict what was others thinking. People skills can also be defined in 3 sets of abilities. First is personal effectiveness, about how one comes across with others. The ability to communicate effectively with people in a friendly way. Second is interaction ability, or how well one predicts and decodes behavior. It is the ability to anticipate the behavior or feelings of the other people in front of you. The third one is intercede easily, or ability to lead, influence, and build bridges between people. Moreover, people skills are ability to accept, appreciate, and admire others on a personal or professional level. Good people skills extend to the ability to listen and empathize with others, as well as work toward common goals with them. Therefore, there are a set of skills that enable a person to get along with others, communicate ideas effectively, resolve conflicts, and achieve personal or professional goals. In general, Portland Business Journal describes people skills as Rifkin 2009, ability to effectively communicate, understand, and empathize. Second is ability to interact with others respectfully and develop productive working relationship to minimize conflict and maximize rapport. And the last one is ability to build sincerity and trust, moderate behavior, or less impulsive, and enhance agreeableness. Educational impact of people skills. People skills are important for teachers in effective classroom management. Knowing how to communicate and teach people instead of simply teaching their subjects will help make a difference in the classroom. Bolton 2009. This is what we are practicing right now. For us future educators, having good people skills will lead us to be closer to our future students. Communicating while teaching lessons is an effective way to connect to them and have a bond with them. Accordingly, almost 50% of classroom success lies on effective interpersonal relationships, while the other 50% lies within academic skills, according to Boyle 2011. This is because teachers tend to interact and relate with students. Therefore, they need to learn how to practice these people skills effectively in order to create a healthy and conducive learning atmosphere in the classroom. In general, people skills are an essential part of work, life, and social success. When one has strong people skills, he or she is able to 1. Teach him or herself, or able to introduce yourself in a short or precise way. Second is overcome social anxiety. When you have a good people skills, you will have the confidence to socialize with others. Third is communicate ideas. And fourth is influence others positively. When you have a good or strong people skills, you can encourage others and influence them in a good way.
For the continuation of our report, I will discuss the strategies in obtaining good people skills. So, Mock Query 2019 presents the following strategies in maintaining good people skills which are essential in a meaningful, joyful, and purpose-driven life that teachers also need to know. The first one is good communication skills. Strong people skills in the communication area include the ability to take in information, clarify comments, and participate in effective verbal and written exchanges. Meaning to say, we as future educators, we must have good communication skills whether it be in a form of written or verbal. But we should also remember that in order us to be a good communicator, we should know first how to be a good listener and a receiver of information. And through that, we can make better arguments with others as well as we can teach our students effectively. The second one is conflict resolution skills. Having the ability to mediate disputes and resolve conflict among others is an important personal and professional skill. Hence, conflict resolution involves the ability to clarify a specific dispute, listen to perspectives in a non-judgmental manner, and offer suggestions for action. So, as teachers, it is a usual thing that we may experience conflicts inside the school, specifically with regards to our students. So, having this kind of skill can help us settle unwanted scenarios in our workplace and even in our personal life. It can help us to think of a better solution and action to make to resolve it. The third one is the value of patience. Patience is an exceptional people skill that is valuable in every profession. It involves being able to maintain an even temper, repeat and explain information as necessary, and control anger in even the most trying situation. It is true that patience is a virtue. It is important that we apply this in every situation because when we have long patience, it also reflects on our surroundings. When we know how to keep our temper cool and control of ourselves, everything is smooth and at peace. So, as teachers someday, we should not get mad when our students keep on asking us because they don't understand the lesson right away, because that is part of learning. Valuing the true essence of patience can also build a good relationship with our students. Tolerance and understanding. Having tolerance and understanding for the differences of others leads to success. Tolerant people have the ability to accept differences even when they don't personally agree with them. Tolerance and understanding are also important skills. When we are already in the field of teaching, we have to accept that our learners are different. They have different beliefs, backgrounds, attitudes, and even learning styles. We should respect them the same way we respect ourselves. At the end of the day, it is the acceptance and respect that can connect us. So, in general, there are 5 A's to improve people's skills, namely, acceptance, appreciation, approval, admiration, and the 5th one is attention. And now, let us move on with the 10 essential people skills to succeed. The following is the list of soft skills for one's self-reflection. The first one is being socially assertive. Social assertiveness is essential for conserving social energy in the right ways. People with high social assertiveness have more focused social energy and more clarity in their interactions. In other words, assertiveness means standing up for our personal rights, expressing thoughts, feelings, and beliefs in direct, honest, and appropriate ways. It is important to remember also that by being assertive, we should always respect the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs of other people. The second one is crafting a memorable presence. People with great presence take it easy in making connections and are extremely good at rapport building. Those with a strong presence can attract others, are well remembered, and are likable. It means that your presence has a direct relationship to your ability to create lasting personal relationships and build a network. If you have a strong presence, people gravitate towards you, remember you better, and are more likely to work with you. Next is mastering communication. This is knowing how to present oneself and in turn gets one's message across. So, if you're enjoying public speaking and presenting big ideas without feeling uncomfortable in a large group of people, then we can say that you are a master communicator. Next, sustaining lasting confidence. People who can sustain lasting confidence are able to conquer their shyness, avoid awkwardness, and get through their anxiety or overcome any nervous tendencies. This means that you are able to excel in most social situations, feel awkward but able to overcome it, and feel more excited than anxious when socializing. Next, being an excellent conversationalist. This is essential in communicating and interacting with others. Excellent conversationalists are people whom others may be fond of listening to and discussing with. So, most interactions happen in 3 levels. The first one is the first 5 minutes. This is your first impression when you decide if someone is worthy getting to know. It can happen professionally, romantically, or socially. This level is the front door if you can get invited in a circle. The second level is the first 5 hours. Once you made it past the first level, you get to have a first meeting, first phone call, or first date. This is when you move past first impressions into rapport building. The third level is the first 5 days. The first 5 days. This is the final level. You want people in this level with whom you would be happy to do a weekend road trip. It's the ultimate level of trust and connection. This could be a romantic with a partner, but it could also be with a long-term business partner or best friend. Therefore, a conversation is the key to moving up these 3 levels. Next, being highly likable. Likability is an important facet of trust by through being authentic or genuine with their true selves. It means that highly likable people are high respected and often asked to join in on teams, social engagements, and groups. Feel their ideal self and real self are closely aligned and are mostly asked their opinions by others. Next, being exceptional at decoding emotions. People who are good at reading people are exceptionally strong at knowing how others think and feel. They can speed read people and their intentions. They are very good at interpreting body language and facial expressions. They are also very intuitive. 8. Pitching ideas. Pitching is a very important people skill because it happens all the time when one is asked for his or her opinion and in introducing himself or herself. People who are great at pitching themselves can get people to adopt their ideas and feel confident pitching themselves without bragging. 9. Being charismatic. Charisma is the perfect blend of 2 essential people skills traits such as warmth and competence. People who are highly charismatic are seen as highly warm. They are approachable, trustworthy, and likable. Aside from that, they are also seen as highly competent. They are seen as dependable, capable, and knowledgeable. And the last one is being an influential leader. Leaders in both personal, social, and professional life are able to gain camaraderie. Meaning to say, when you are a leader, you know how to build good relationships with others in almost every situation. You know what's good for all, and you possess all the characteristics of being a true leader. However, in order to be an influential leader, you must be a good follower too. You listen to the opinion of others and consider it in making decisions. And now, let's proceed to integrating socio-emotional literacy into the curriculum. Schools that want to teach socio-emotional learning but confined with classroom time can take a social, emotional, and moral inventory of what students are currently learning by involving first, a person's emotional life, second, an ethical dilemma, third, a situation calling for compassion, fourth, a societal challenge, fifth, the ethical use of knowledge, sixth, cross-group interactions, and seven, an implicit pro-social concept. It means that since schools have only limited time but still want to teach or integrate socio-emotional learning, they can take the inventory in social, emotional, and moral of students with the help of the 7 things that was mentioned. By integrating social literacy in the curriculum content, teachers do not only give students opportunities to practice their social emotional skills, but also show them how integral these skills are in their daily lives. Meaning to say, integrating social literacy in the curriculum does not only help students to improve social emotional skills, but instead, it teaches us on how we can apply this in our lives and make it worthwhile, like managing our emotions, building healthy relationships, and feel empathy. Hence, reviewing curricula through social, emotional, and moral lens is like a habit of mind that the more it is done, the easier it gets. Obviously, the greatest benefit of teaching lessons like this is that students can begin to examine their education, their decisions, their interests, and their relationships through this lens, while helping them cultivate a more thoughtful and discerning approach to life. And here is the summary or the main points of our report. Let's repeat again the definition or the meaning of social literacy. Social literacy is the development of social skills, knowledge, and positive values that engender the desire and ability in human beings to act positively and responsibly in a wide range of complex social settings. Social skills are an integral part of functioning in society as they involve good manners, communicating effectively with others, being considerate of others' feelings, and expressing personal needs. We have also discussed about emotional intelligence. It is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's emotions and influence the emotions of others manifested through different characteristics. Also, people skills are patterns of behavior and behavioral interactions and how they are perceived irrespective of their thinking and feeling. They are tools to communicate and interact effectively with others. And lastly, by integrating social literacy into the curriculum would contribute to the holistic development of learners. And that's the end of our report. I hope you guys learned something. Thank you for watching and listening.